Okay, Andy, your question, I'll go over. So your question was, does it mean those who have completed a university or the university can still access their resource? Right. It depends on the university's decision. If the university continue to make their those people their emails active, they can still use it. But if they block it, that's fine. So if you've completed and still you are receiving the university's emails, meaning they've not blocked you, you can still access their resource. You can still receive their information. Do you get it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Then say,
Yes.
please, is it that when we end or when after school at Legon, do they block all those students that has ended the academic year or something, or they don't do that? Please, I would like to.
Okay, in Legon, we don't do that. We don't block uh, email addresses. So even those who completed 1990 something and they still remember their when they log in, they can still see anything that's going on in the school right now. They can still receive those emails.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Say,
Yes.
please, it's Sakai, MIS Web. Those are they intranet? Because I'm somehow confused with the intranet and then the internet. See, because right now we are dealing with our email address,
Okay.
and then I'm confused how our email address become an something of or something that we are comparing with an internet. You can get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I get it. Now,
Huh.
yes, this is it. Intranet. It is a private network that is set up in an organization that an outsider can't use. For example, in your university, in your various university Wi-Fi, if you are not a student with a student ID and a pen, there is no way you can connect to a student Wi-Fi in the university. You would have to beg someone, a student, to connect it for you. That example is an intranet. Okay, again, in the university has an email channel that will broadcast any official. So every university would have a specific or a unique email that's been given to all the students. So you see, it will end with a certain directory, either .ug or .ucc something. That thing is an intranet, a private network. Take note, as a networking student, I told you when we talk about internet or network, it is not about the mobile data or the telecommunication as a layman will explain. It comes with a lot of things. It's just creating a channel whereby you can share information. So, for example, you were talking about Sakai and MIS. See, Sakai and MIS is an intranet to the fact that if you are not a student with a student ID and a pen, there is no way you can log into Sakai and MIS. It's the university's private network that they've created, meaning an outsider can't get access to Sakai or MIS. Do you get it, Gode?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
So it's my understanding anything that is being restricted from outsiders to penetrate to is an intranet, like
yes,
anything.
perfectly.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, hello, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Hello,
Clement.
sir. In that regard, could we say if an organization, even within the organization, still creates a specific uh, place that only certain number of people or employees are required to to have access to it, that is it also referred to as intranet?
Okay,
Even though within that same organization, we have certain number
yes,
that still have access to certain facilities. Yes.
yes, because you see, even within organization, we have staff. There are some resources only staff can get access to that. Though you are a student of that organization, but you can't get access. That's also an intranet. Intranet. Do you get it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Margaret.
Say,
Maggie, finish talking and Vanessa will
say,
come. Okay, Maggie.
say, say, I wanted to add that looking at the intranet, though I have access to it, I have the password. When I'm outside, let's say when I'm outside the school, maybe can I still use it, or when I'm
Yes,
just inside the school,
no. The
maybe
intranet,
I'm outside.
yes. So if you are even if you travel abroad, you can still use and you are still an active student. For example, active student here means you still not graduated, or I think even if you graduate, you still see. If you are a student, and even if you travel and you have that email
Uh,
of the school, you will still receive it. Since you are part of the organization, you've been added, you have access to it. Do you get it?
okay.
Sure. Vanessa. Vanessa, I think she's out. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Does anyone have any question before we continue on this? Okay. Now, let's come to this. The virtual private network. Okay. The virtual private network. Those of you in the hacking class, I guess each of you is using one. It's okay. Here it say it's also a network. Here it also means a technique known as tunneling to transfer data securely on the internet to a remote access server on your workplace network. Using VPN helps you save money by using public internet instead of making long distance phone calls to connect securely with your private network. There are two ways to create VPN connection: by dialing, that's the ISP people, or connecting directly to the internet. Now, the VPN, as most of you know, VPN is also a network. It's a virtual private network. And this VPN works in so many ways. It actually works in so many ways. One way, it helps you block your actual IP address of the computer you are using. It masks it. We call it mask. 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 It masks to those attackers. Anyone who wants to track you or something, it masks them. Then also it actually helps to changes your location. So a VPN can tell a hacker who is trying to hack you that, oh, this person who is browsing is in China. Meanwhile, you are in Ghana or you are in Europe. The VPN also help. It's actually a protocol that actually, let me say, protect. So it's like a network police. It actually protects networks securely. We have so many forms of VPN, so many forms. We will dive deep into VPN for us to know the forms of those in the hacking class. You will be doing it, and here too we will be doing it. When we start our practical section, we will be adding VPNs to it so that our network will be safe. Is Vanessa back? Okay, she's still not back. All right, let's continue. Now we have categories of network. Network can be divided into two main categories. Of course, we have the peer-to-peer. Please note things down. When we start the practical, we are not coming back to this. You use what you have to build something, to simulate your network. Either you are building a server based or peer-to-peer, write things down. And I've given you this book too in your Slack channel. Those not in Slack, I've actually joined you in your groups, so I will also post it there for you. All right. Peer-to-peer. In peer-to-peer networking, there are no dedicated servers. No, there are no servers or hierarchy among the computers. All of the computers are equal, in fact, therefore known as peers. When here, peer in simple terms, everyone is a client. Everyone is a client. So from computer A to computer D, you've connected. Everyone is a client. We don't have a main one that's distributing. No, so this one, it can be example in a particular office whereby you've created a channel, a network. We will be using channel instead of network since you understand it as network students. So you've created a channel in your office. You are about 5 people in one office. You see, we have offices that are big enough to contain about 5 desks. So you have 5 people in that office and you want to share a file. You've been communicating now. So this one work on the header of the file, this one work on the body, this one, but you don't want to be using pen drives so that when this one work on the header, you go and copy and come and paste. You can actually create a peer-to-peer connection whereby after I'm done with the header, I'll just put it in a particular folder on that channel. The computer A can actually pick that folder and work on it, place it back. Computer C can actually take it, work on it. Yes, or we can all at the same time be working on a particular file at the same time in on the same channel. That's a peer to peer. Is someone talking? Okay, let's continue. Yes, that is for peer to peer is very understandable. So this is a process whereby the various computers, any one of them is a peer or is a client. There is no server based, or there is no a major computer that is supplying. Everyone is a supplier and everyone is a consumer. Or yes, is someone talking? Logarithm, are you talking? All right, let's continue. Okay, so in peer-to-peers too, it can be set up in an organization. So maybe you are the human resource personnel or manager in an organization. You create a network or a channel whereby the boss will release a file for all of you to work on. So the human resource can pick that file in the same channel without necessarily going to the boss office to copy. So you just put in you have a specific folder in the channel whereby everyone can see that folder, the file in that particular folder. So the boss will work on it. Now the human resource will also work on it. The IT department will also work on that same file. So you see that this network is actually within and it's peer to peer. Everyone can just work. You don't need a permission from someone to actually tap. Everyone can just tap just to share information, make it flow in organization. All right, we have the client slash server. This is the most efficient way to provide. In fact, this one, as the name suggests, it's very broad. Take your time, then listen very carefully. This kind of network is very broad and it is the most actually complicated network. And in terms of these powers, giving of powers to people in organization. Now, in this type of network, you will actually have one particular server here. Hope you can see my mouse. Hello, can someone see my mouse?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes. So where I'm hovering my mouse, that is the server. That's the server-based network. In this also the down one is the peer-to-peer. You see, everyone is equal. everyone is someone's co-equal, so everyone is equal. Here, no, we have a boss. The boss is in the middle. So each of these clients will need a permission to access a file from this particular server. Please note it well whilst you'll be building your practical section, you'll be needing this. Now, the peer-to-peer here, each one is anyone's co-equal. You don't need a permission. So this one don't need a permission to actually work on a file. No, from this on this channel. No. This one don't need a permission here. This one don't need. You can just work on the file. But this one is a boss-based network. This one, you will need a permission and an access. So this is whereby in a very strong organization like the CIA, the FBI, all these higher, let me say, organizations, they use this in terms because of security reasons, because this server computer actually contains a lot of confidential information, so you are only limited to only a particular information. This is client A. That's the client workstation A. Now the client workstation A is to just update the date. So you see the access that will be given to you, you will just update date. You can never do anything again. You go to work from Monday to Friday, yours is update date of various records. You cannot do anything again. Maybe client B's own is to input data. You will always be inputting data. You cannot add date. You'll be always be inputting data. You just input your data, you are done for the day. So each of them here would have their roles, and each of them would have a unique access. When you talk about access in network, access, it's actually a term. Access means the security details, so your logins. So we don't say password, username, no, access. So you will need access. So you will be given your username, your password. So each of them here has a unique username and a password. Without that, you can't access a file from here. And the person here, tip more example, in fact, a very close example is the one at the banks, various banks. I guess each of you here has one way or the other visited a bank before. Now, when you go to the bank, we have the tellers. They they've been given a particular access. So theirs is to maybe to get access to your account, seek for your approval, and give you your money. So you see, when you go to the bank and you actually want to take a money, so these people, maybe these three people have been given that access to perform the operation involved to give you your money. Maybe these people do also. So you see, when you go to the bank, we have many people in the bank. We have the tellers, and we have the actually the customer care people or something. For them, they don't give you money. They just listen to inquiries or something. They are also having computers in front of them. They are also tapping information from this server, but their information collecting is different from these tellers. These tellers are tapping different information. These people too are tapping different information with separate logins. So each one has his or her own thing that needs to be done, and logins. So your login can open someone's, and when you log in, the system has been programmed, or the server has been programmed to, in a way, when you log in, the server knows this login is straight opening you to adding maybe dates. So it will send you straight there. There is no way there will be a mistake and add you or grant you the access to withdraw money. That one, maybe you have actually worked, you're actually working with a hacker somewhere, then maybe you can do that. But apart from that, you cannot access any unauthorized resources on this server. All right, so based on these two, any questions so far, please? Okay, here we have in networking, we have a model. We have a model that governs the building of a network. As a network student, you should know all these models. You should keep them down and be actually visiting them and know about them deeply. Even after this class, read about them and understand them. You'll be needing them even if not in this program. As you progress or as you join any company, you'll be needing it to add up to your knowledge. Now, when building a network model, you have certain standards that's internationally recognized you would have to follow. The various projects we are about to build, you will need to understand these, because these are in fact the basic fundamentals of a network model. You need to understand the open system interconnection. That's the name of the model. Open system interconnection. So I've given you this resource. Please read more about that and know more. Okay, so we will quickly glance through, then we move. Reference model has become an international standard and serves as a guide for networking. This model is best known and most widely used to guide describing network environment. Yes, so you read, you get more of them. Now we will tap into them one by one. There are seven types of them. The layers are actually seven. One, we have the physical layer. Please take note. If you have a book, you should have a book and a pencil, not a pen, please. A pencil, and be jotting them down. You will need it wherever you go to show that you actually understand networking. Now, model one, that's the first layer is the physical layer. The physical layer. The physical layer, as the name suggests. It is just the physical part of a network you see, such as the wires, the cables, and the other medias along. So this layer takes note of the electrical signals that transmit data throughout the system. All right. So what this is trying to tell you is the physical. Let me see. Am I recording? Okay. The physical layer is actually the tangible part of the network. That's the touchable part. That's the various network cables you see when you go to your when you near your various workstations. You see this network cable, plenty of them connecting, this fiber being laid down. These are the physical layer. They are classified as the physical layer of a network model. They are the physical layer of a network model. We also have the next layer, which is the data link layer. The data link layer. This
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
yes, Clement.
Please, can I kindly come again with the physical layer, please?
Okay. The physical layer. This is the touchable and the tangible part of a network. For example, the wires you see and the cables. So you actually visit an organization, you pass by their service. You will see a lot of network cables being connected. Those are the physical things or the physical layer. They are all classified as the physical layer of a network. They are the first layer. As a network designer, you should be able to have a deep knowledge about that. The physical layer, we have types of the cables. We will learn about that, the wires to use, the Cat4, the Cat5, the Ethernet cables, all those we will learn more about. They all falls under the physical layer. Do you understand now? All right, let's move on. Now we are moving on to the data link layer. This layer is where we actually assign meaning to the electrical signals in the network. This layer also determines the size and format of data sent to printers and other devices. Also, I don't want to forget that these are also called nodes in the network. Another thing to consider in this layer is uh, also allowing defined error detection or correction schemes that ensure data was sent and received. All right. When we talk about the data layer, let me bring it down to the beginners level. The data layer, this is in building your network. Now take note. In building your network, after setting up your physical connection and anything, there is a data link. This is where the data or the channel is created. So for example, these networks work with electrical signals. And so these electrical signals that are transmitting the file or the resource you are trying to access from a particular server is termed as the data link layer. So see that file you want that printer to print. You see, we have wireless printers. So you just connect to your computer. You'll be sitting somewhere and the printer will be somewhere. So you just issue the command. Then it start printing. Now, what carries that file from your computer to the printer? It is an electrical signal that carries it. And that process or the thing that is carrying it or that layer is called the data link layer. This helps in transmitting or actually channeling the packet to your device or to any device you want to send to. So they are the electrical signals in here, or let me say in other way, I'll say they are the frequencies in the network model. Please do get it. After that, we move to the network.
No, no, please.
Okay, very fine. Now, the data link layer. Let me actually use another example. You see, you okay, you want to connect your phone to your headset, but you are not using either you are using a cable or you want to connect it wirelessly. Now, what do you think? What do you think send that music you are playing on your phone to your headset for you to hear it? Or what do you think that send the file you are trying to print to the printer for it to print it for you without you actually going there with a pen drive to insert and print? Why do you think that thing is? So that particular thing, that electrical signal that carry the file to the other end is called the data link layer. Do you get it now?
Yes, please. Very clear now.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Yes. Who is talking? Margaret.
Margaret,
Okay, Margaret. Talk.
so the data link layer, are they mostly wireless machines?
Oh no. Oh no. So even in the cable, so that's pushing the file or pushing that resource through the cable to the other end is also classified as the data link. So it's just the electrical signals that is sending the particular file through that channel to the other end. So the force that is pushing the file to the other end is termed as the data link layer. Do you get it? It's basically electrical signal.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Any question? Okay, let's continue very fast. We have the network layer. Please be noting down these things. Network layer. This layer provides the definition for the connection of two dissimilar networks. All right. When we talk about the network layer, it's basically, let's take an example of if you want to connect two different networks. So we have two you've set up two networks in an office. Let me say A and B. We have computer A and B. Computer A and B has connected. Computer B and C has also connected, but in separate. Now, you want to connect these two networks together so that whatever is sharing between computer A and B can also be shared in computer B, the computer C and D. Please get it very carefully. The network layer provides a definition for connection of two dissimilar networks. So it's just interconnecting of two networks together. So now the layer that joins these two networks together is called the network layer. For example, as I was making, computer A and B are in one network. Computer C and D are also in one network. Now, here you want to connect these two networks together so that you can actually make it a whole network, one network, so you can share information throughout. Maybe computer A and B was the first network that you set up in your organization. You've now gotten enough money to bring another network. Now, the connection between these two different networks is termed as the network layer. As simple as that. Any question? Okay, quickly let's move. Okay. Any question? Someone's talking. Or okay, let's move on. Quickly, let's move to the transport layer. Be noting down things down because you'll be needing these things in your practical work. Okay, the transport layer, this layer actually allows data to be broken into smaller packages for data to be distributed and addressed to other nodes. Okay, now when you send a file from your computer to a printer, either by wireless means or cable, the force that is sending that file is the data link layer. But that file is not being sent as a whole. Take note of that. The file is not going as one file just going. No, it breaks into packages, smaller particles. And take note of something here. Please just watch my mouse. Where my mouse is actually pointing to nodes. Nodes are also the same as workstation or the client. Please, as a networking student, you should know this. The client as we used in the peer-to-peer, these when you go to a bank, we have the server and the client will be there tapping information from the server. So those are the client. They can also be referred as workstation or nodes. Okay. Now, a data is being distributed from a server. How would the server get to these nodes or workstations? Now, the force or the electrical signal that is pushing this file to these nodes or to these people, these clients, is called the data link layer. Now, while the data link layer is sending these files are being broken into smaller particles. They are not being sent as a whole. Nope. They are being sent into smaller particles or smaller packages so that it can actually move very fast and get to their different location. So that layer in transporting all these, that contains all these. So you see, in the transport layer, so within the transport layer, you can find data, that's the data being sent broken into packages, and with the data link, that is electrical signals pushing these to the other end. Please do get it. Okay, we will rejoin again in few seconds. Our time is we will rejoin again. But before that, any question? I'll go over this again. If any question, okay, I'll go over again. Now, I say the transport layer is actually the layer whereby these packets or these data are broken into smaller particles that can be sent or distributed to these workstations or the nodes or the clients. So meaning inside the transport layer, you can find the data link layer, that the electrical signals that is sending these broken packages to the nodes. Are we on the same page? Clement. Okay, let's go on. I,
Hello, sir. I wanted to ask a question there. It's in the very word that you used, I've forgotten. That's why I muted myself.
okay, so which word? The nodes or the workstation or the client?
Uh, I'll recall and if anything, I'll let you know.
Okay, you will go over the transport again. Maybe you can get it there.
Okay, please.
Okay, so I was saying the transport layer. This is the layer that's actually or the place whereby this transmitting of these